Coach, obviously a big week, another last SEC road trip of the year. How do you feel like practice is going, and what are your thoughts of A&M so far?
Yeah, it's going good. The guys have been bounced back with good energy. Got a lot of excitement running around out there. Watching A&M, first couple thoughts are talented, athletic, quick, and they do a great job running to the football.
They got some size up front too. One of the bigger lines you'll see. Is there any carryover from last week? I mean, after playing Kentucky from a targeting standpoint.
Yeah. There will be some. You know, they play out of an Okie front, very similar to Kentucky. They'll mix in a little bit of 4-down stuff. At this time in the year, though, we've seen those fronts from a targeting perspective. You know, it's going to be about fundamental execution, obviously our intent on contact, and how we can sustain blocks in order to create in the run game.
You coach tight ends and offensive tackles, obviously. I know Malik was kind of put in a tough situation this year, but how much I know the plan is still for him to play offensive or somewhere on the offensive line, but how much does that help him play in tight end this year to carry over?
Yeah, I think from a physical maturity standpoint, it's really helping him out. You know, I think with offensive linemen, you know, coaching the position for so long, I think the biggest jump you see is the first time they're out there on a Saturday afternoon till that next year. You know, because if you're sitting on the sideline your first year, your second year, you never know what it feels like. But you get instant feedback when you're out there on the field, you know, from a physical understanding the work you got to put in the off season in order for your body to mature so you're ready that next fall.
What was that first reaction when y'all approached him and said, "Hey, we need you to play tight"?
It was no big deal. He came in the spring and saw it as an opportunity and kind of put his best foot forward. And we just keep adapting to his strengths and you know, really trying to spell the other guys in that room with the lack of depth, you know.
Obviously, you got some guys that are more inline type tight ends, other guys are attached tight ends. I mean, you know, when you're beginning to break the roster down, you know, how much of that is part of your consideration about kind of filling needs with each skill set?
Yeah, and I think that's the number one thing that we try to do. Now, the downside to it is you do create certain tendencies that you got to go in and you got to try to break them week in and week out. But finding stuff, you know, that's the one advantage we have as an offense is we control the personnel. We control those matchups by putting those on the field. You know, so trying to get those guys in the right situations that they can have success in is really what we're looking to do.
How was Seydoux been progressing, and whether he's on scout team or practice?
Yeah, I mean, he's got the skill set that we kind of want from that flex position. He's shown a lot of good things. You know, he's done some receiver stuff to help out scout numbers and all that, but we do see him as an inside receiver, flex Y. He is the guy that we thought he was, you know, real athletic, can go up and get the ball. Does some good things, run after catch and all that, and we got to continue to build some toughness in and around the box for him to play at this level. But he is as advertised from a skill set perspective.
Everybody talks about like a next man up mentality. It's almost just become a cliche in college football. But you guys have been so beat up this year. I mean, how do you feel like the guys have kind of handled the challenge a little bit deeper on the depth chart?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've stepped in and they put their best foot forward, and obviously that's been some, you know, and like you talked about with the tight end position, getting the right guy doing the right thing. So you've seen a little bit more sub, you know, and then the hit we took from Spivey, who Spivey was a guy who could do everything for us early in the year, and then losing him late in camp. Having to adapt to that has been the biggest challenge. But for the most part, I think these guys see an opportunity to play SEC football, get out there on a Saturday, and then they've answered the call every time we've asked.
A&M, do they disguise all their blitzes?
Yeah, they do a good job. They come from all over the place. Not only are they talented, they don't just sit in front of you. You know, there's going to be some movement we got to deal with. There's going to be some late rotations we got to be able to understand and see from a protection perspective and from a run targeting perspective as well. And we got to make sure the plan protects itself.
Just you've played Texas A&M a lot of times over the years. How does this defense look to some of the other Aggie defenses you've seen?
Well, they are very, very athletic. They're as good or better athletically than, you know, maybe some of the teams in the past. But they a lot of speed and a lot of athletic ability, long, rangy, good size in the defensive line. Really a good defense and well coached.
You guys really have to help out in pass pro. I mean, and everybody's a little bit different these days with their fires and pressures and things like that. Maybe what have you seen from A&M that your backs have to be cognizant of?
Well, they bring pressure. You know, they bring pressure on first down. They bring pressure on second down. They bring pressure on third down, and they do it in a variety of ways that you know, put your offense in a bind. So our backs are required to you know, block in protection, like, you know, I guess most backs around the country are. But you know, it'll be a tremendous challenge because they've really got some good players.
I know we probably ask you about Seth Davis just about every time, but how have you seen him develop as a freshman?
Well, really developed. You know, we saw him in the spring, and he did some things that were special there. And then, you know, in fall camp, preparing for the season, he showed some flashes. And so we're not surprised. We know he has a lot of ability and a great upside.
Jeff was able to get to the corner a couple of times and beat a defender, if not just knocking him aside, then just kind of shrugging off a tackler. Is that the kind of physical play you've wanted out of him?
Yeah, he's a physical player. He loves to play football. You know, he likes it when it's tough, and you know, he likes to, you know, he likes to hit it up in there and to be physical when he runs the football.
You recruited Jeffrey a lot in high school. Anything he's done up here surprised you, or are you pretty much what you thought he would be when you signed him?
When we signed him, I thought that he would have a chance to come in and contribute. You know, he's probably a little bit more physical runner than I may have known or anticipated, but that's good, you know, because he gives us the mixture and the change of pace in our running back room.
Coach Murray was talking that Simeon got his carry on a check play and then didn't get the ball again. It's just difficult getting the carries spread around to all those guys.
Yeah, you know, you call one play and, you know, they give you a look on defense, and then you call another play, and, you know, and so sometimes those things happen, but, you know, really proud of the way he ran the football.
Coach, you've been a veteran of this conference for a long time. You know, what's it like going to play at Kyle Field with a near capacity crowd?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's one of the greatest challenge in all of college football. You know, their fan support, their energy, their enthusiasm in the state of Texas. They take a lot of pride in it, and you know, they can get loud, and so it's a great place to play, great venue to play, and that's why you coach and play in the SEC, is to have games like this.
Woody Marks has missed a couple of games, but he warmed up with the guys the other day. How eager is he to get back on the field?
Well, he's excited and looking forward to it.
And we got to see Kevon Lee in a couple of snaps there. It's just another guy that's trying to work in.
Yeah, just you know, just has been contributing in other ways, in every way that he can, and you know, just works hard, just comes to work every day, does things the right way, and takes advantage of the opportunity when he's given it.
You've had 3 quarterbacks now that your running backs have had to kind of get the exchange down with. I mean, how challenging is that for a back when it's a different quarterback, sometimes almost every week?
Well, it's we practice, you know, we practice it, and you know, we do mesh drills every day in practice, and they get to go with different quarterbacks, and different running backs get to go together. So, you know, it's not anything negative when it happens, because we've practiced the whole time.
Receiver catches have gone down in recent games. Is that what the defense is doing, or just kind of an adjustment y'all have made in midseason?
Well, I can't tell you exactly, you know, I couldn't put my finger on exactly, you know, but I know that, you know, we're striving and just trying to, you know, continue to get better.